So just double click it and open this. So once you open, it will give you the blank. I have already my Ubuntu and Cloudera set up, so that's why I'm getting these, but you will get nothing and you will get the blank. So how you set up? So just click on the new button, the first button. So once you click on new, just give your Cloudera name like I have given over here. You can give Cloudera and you give your RAM as per your available RAM. I have my 8 GB RAM, so I can give, let's say, 3 or 4 GB, whatever I need. So let's say I'm giving this much. You can give any RAM size as per your need, but if you have 8 GB RAM, try to give 3 or 4 GB. And then there is a third option in your hard disk section, that is use an existing virtual hard disk file, because I have already my Cloudera setup. So just click on this, the third option, and select your file. How you select? Using this directory icon. So click on this icon and you have your Cloudera setup. I have already in my downloads folder, and also I have in my Ubuntu folder in my desktop, which I have shown you like this. Here I have this file, the blue color file, which I have shown you over here. Like in my Cloudera, I have this blue color file. This is what I have downloaded, and it is a 5 GB setup. So again, coming to that, just select here and it will come here and click on open. So now you can see that your file is selected, and just click on the create button. So once you click on create button, it will take 10 to 15 minutes and your setup would be ready for your Cloudera environment. So this is how you can install your Cloudera setup on your Windows machine. So I have already installed, so I'm not going to install it. So I'm going to cancel it, and once it is created successfully, it will show like this, and you can start your Cloudera using the start normal start. So you select this file and you select start normal start. So now you can see that it will open your Cloudera environment. So this is how you can set up your Cloudera environment in 15 to 20 minutes, so that you can learn or you can start learning your big data technologies. This is very easy to install or set up. So now you can see that my Cloudera VM is getting started. It is already installed, so that's why it is not taking much time. But in your case, because you have not installed that, it will take 15 to 20 minutes. And this is how you get your UI for your Cloudera, and you start learning your big data technology. So that's all. We are going to verify how we can create views and what is view all about. So let's begin with Hive views. Hive views allows a query to be saved and treated just like another table. It is basically, you can say, a subset of a particular table. You create a view on a particular, you can say, condition, and you execute your query using that view in a similar manner where you execute your other queries. So you can see, as a definition, a view allows a query to be saved and treated just like a table, and it is a logical construct, as it does not store data like a table, but it is just a subset of a particular table. So you can create your view using the command like create view, then the view name. Let's say I'm creating view for employee. So it is create view employee as, then the complete query on a which you are going to create a view. Like select star from employee where salary is greater than 1000. So when you execute your view for EMP, that is our view name, then it will only display the row which is having the salary that is greater than 1000. And then in a similar manner you can drop the view using the drop and then view and view name. So let's start with how you can create our views in Hive terminal. So this is my Hive terminal. On this terminal we can create our Hive views. So let's first verify how we use a database, and then in that particular database we will create our views. So let's see a particular database how we can use. Let's say use and then database name. Let's say I'm using testing 10. So this is my database in which I have all the queries available. So I have used testing 10 database. So now our job is to create a view and to verify the view. So to create a view, you just need to create a view query. So as we have already seen, this is our command to execute the view and to create the view. This is create view and then the view name. Let's say I'm creating employee 30,000. So 30,000 I'm creating because I'm just checking if the salary is greater than 30,000, then only the rows would get returned. So create view, then view name as select star from employee where salary is greater than 30,000. So this is my view query. So because we don't have salary on that particular table, so that's why it is not displaying that. Let's create a table on which we can create our views. So let's create a table first. To create a view, so let's create a table with name as view table, and then I have three fields, that is ID as int, name as string, salary as int, and row format delimited field submitted by tab. It is we have already seen. So now you can see my view table is created. So now as it doesn't have any data, so let's load the data in this table. As you can see, if I have executed a query on this table, then there is no data available in this table. So let's create a data for this. So let's create a data with ID, then tab, then our name, then name is, let's say, name 1, then the salary, let's say I'm putting 10,000, then 2, tab, name 2, then salary is 20,000, then 3, tab, name 3, then salary is 30,000. So let's save this data. Save. I'm saving this data in here. So it is, you can say, I'm just giving a name as view data. I'm saving this one. So my data is view data. So it is created over here. So now let's load this data in our table. So load data local in path, then the path of a file. Let's take a path. It is in the home directory only. As my data file is named as view data, so I have given view data. It doesn't have any extension, so I have not given any extension. Then into table, then our table name, view table. Let's execute this query. So now we have loaded the data in our view table. So let's verify this. Select star from view table. So now you can see it has three data, that is for salary 10,000, 20,000 and 30,000. So our next task is to create a view on this particular table. To create a view on this particular table, the command is create view, then the view name. Let's say the view is for the salary, so let's take as salary. And what would be the condition for salary? So let's begin with 20,000, and then we will see how we can create this complete query. So let's begin with as select star from a particular table. Let's say our table is because view table, so let's take view table, and where salary is greater than, because we are taking 20,000, so let's take as 20,000. So create view, then view name. This is our view names, salary 20,000, then particular condition as select star from view table where salary is greater than 20,000. So now you can see the view is created. Now you can execute your query on this particular view. So select star from cell underscore 20,000. So if we execute this query, it should return only 30,000. So now you can see it is only returning 30,000. So this is the condition for that particular view. So that's why it is returning the 30,000, because we have created the view for salary greater than. So greater than means it will not include 20,000 and it will use greater than 20,000 to create the view. Now you can drop your views as well. So if you want to verify your views, so you can verify using drop view and then the view name. So you can drop off using drop view and then the view name. So our view name is cell greater than 20,000, so cell underscore 20,000 and then semicolon. So now you can see our view is deleted. So if I want to execute again our view query, because our view is not there, it will give me error because table is not found for particular view. So here we have seen how we can create a view on a particular table with a particular condition and how we can get our result in a particular view. We are going to cover the indexes. We are going to verify how we can create the indexes in Hive and how we can see if indexes are created on the table and how it works. So let's begin with what is indexes all about. Basically, you can say the goal of a Hive indexing is to improve the speed of a query. It is similar to the indexes that were available in our SQL. In the similar manner, you can say to improve the efficiency of your query, we create an index on a particular column in a table and we verify if it is taking less time to execute our query. So it is basically just used for speed up your query so that you can get your results in a quick time. How you can create the indexes? You can create the indexes in a similar manner which you are creating traditionally in your SQL. So it is simple as create index, then the index name, let's say it is t1 underscore index, it is an index name, then on which table. So it is on table, let's say my table is table 1, so it is on table 1, and on which column you want to create your index. So it is column 2. You can give any column. Let's say you have ID, name, address, city. So you just need to mention over here the column name. So you can give ID or name or anything else. Then as compact with deferred rebuild. It is how the schema is defined, how you create the schema of an index query. And in a similar manner, you can show the indexes on a particular table using the show index on table 1. Then you can similar manner, you can drop the index also. Drop index, then the index name on table 1. So let's see how we can create our indexes in Hive terminal. So this is my Hive terminal. I have already opened the Hive session on this. So you first need to create a query to execute the Hive indexes. So first thing is we need to create a particular table so that we can use index on that particular table and verify how it is used in Hive. So in a simple manner, you just need to create a table. Let's say create table, then the table name. Let's say I'm creating table index 1 1. Then the schema of the table. Let's say I'm taking int as for the ID, then name as string, then row format delimited, fields, then terminated by, then you define how your data is terminated. So let's see, I'm defining /t that is used for tab. So let's create a table for creating our index. So now my table is created. So let's do one thing. Let's create another table so that we can verify how it is efficient. So we will create an index on a one table and we don't create index on another table, and we will execute our query and see the comparison results. So in a similar manner, I am just creating another table. Let's say it is index
12. So my these two tables are ready. So if I use show tables, then index 1 1 and index 1 2, it is created. So first thing, we just need to load our data into these tables. So you can use load data local, then in path, then the path of the data. So I have already created a data, and that is index data. I have used ID and name. So let's take the path of this data. This is in the home folder slash and then the file name. The file name is indexdata1.txt. So let's use over here. Then into table and then table name. So our table name is index11. Let's execute this query. So now my data is loaded in the table that is index11. So let's begin with uploading our data into table index12 as well. So now I have loaded the same data in my both tables. So you can verify our data using select star from index11 and in a similar way index12. So don't bother first thing with the null values. Null values, as we have already discussed in other sessions, it only displayed when you have any blank line in your data. So in a simple way, let's begin to verify how our index is efficient to get the records in a quick time. So to verify this thing, let's first execute a average query on a particular column. So select average. Let's say I wanted average of ID from index 11. Let's execute this query and see how much time it takes. Because we are using average, that is a computation command, so that is why it is executing our map reduce job. As we have 8 rows, so it might take 2 seconds to load the data and few seconds to execute our query. Now our mapper is 100% completed. So now our reducer is trying to execute their job. So it might take some time to load the data completely and execute your query. So the time is taken is 51.526 seconds. In a similar way, let's execute it on a other table, that is table index 12. So it might take the same amount of time or it might take some less or greater than, and after that we will create an index in one of the columns and we will then see how it is efficient and how much time it has taken to execute the query when we have created index on a particular table in particular column. So now my mapper is already 100%, so our reducer is started to execute the query. So let's see how much time this table takes. So this is Similar way, 1 or 2 seconds less or greater than, so it has taken 50.231, and the other taken 51.526. So it is around that. So now our job is to create an index on a particular table, on a particular column. So let's create an index on first table, that is index 11. To create an index, we have a query, as we have already seen, create index, then the index name, and then on which table you wanted to create the index. So I am creating on index on the table, that is index 11. So let's create this index on a particular column. As compact with deferred rebuild, it is a schema to create a compact type index. So I have created an index on a particular column, that is ID column, on a table index 11. So now let's try to execute the average query on a index 11 table and see how much time it takes. So I have executed the average command again on index table, that is index 11, on a particular column, that is ID column. So let's see how much time it takes to execute the query. Because the data is very less, because it is only 8-10 lines, so it might take some less than or greater than, but it should take lesser amount of time rather than which is taken when we don't have any index on a particular table. But due to size of our data, it might not give you the very huge amount of effect. But now you can verify it has taken 49 seconds. So earlier it was taking around 52 seconds. Now it is taking 49. So you can see how you can create an index on a particular column, on a particular table, and how you execute to verify the job. On the other table where we don't have index, it has already taken 50 seconds. Because of we don't have much data, so it has taken only few seconds lesser than the normal one. So this is how you can execute your index query. So in a similar way, you can show your indexes. It means if you want to verify which all index is available on particular table, so you can use show index on, then you can define the table name, that is index 11. So now you can see this is my index name, that is table 1 underscore index. This is my table, that is index 11, and this is my column, ID column, and this is my testing 10, that is my database. It is my table and it is my index, and the compact is my index type. So you can verify all the information of an index using the command show index on particular table, that is index 11. In a similar manner, if you want to drop your index, then you can use the same query like drop index and then the table name. So you can drop off, let's say drop table, my index name is table 1 underscore index on particular table, that is index 11. Let's drop this index. So now you can see my query is successfully executed, and if I wanted to execute again this show index command, because I have already dropped the index, so it will not show. So show index is showing nothing. Earlier it was showing the complete information of a index, but once I drop the index using the drop index command, then it is not showing anything when I am executing show index command. So now you can see how you can create your index and how you can verify it is efficient on the particular query, other than where you don't have index on other tables, and how you can verify your index and how you can drop your index. So in this session we have learned how we use the indexes in our real-time projects.